Worldwide Jess, worldwide Mess.
On The Breakfast Club.
She's a culture shift.
It's time to set it off.
Oh, I love that intro. Thank you, Taylor. I love that. All right, so people expect for me to be funny every day. However, I want to keep speaking on this this Nickelodeon documentary, but from the perspectives of some of the family members of these child actors. In the documentary, Drake Bell spoke on his dad's reaction to Brian Peck being charged when he got that 16-month sentence, and this was the guy that sexually assaulted Drake Bell.
I get a phone call from Drake. I go, what's up? I haven't heard from you for a while.
I was like, oh, did you see they got him?
I go, what do you mean?
Brian, they arrested him.
I go, you're kidding. I knew it. I knew it.
And my dad just goes, I am so glad that he was not able to get his hands on you. My dad's very emotional, and we were starting to rekindle our relationship, and I just couldn't. So I just said, yeah, they got him. He's like, oh, I'm so glad. I knew he was gonna do something to someone.
How did it make you feel when you finally found out?
I'm not the same today. The pain's still there from the moment that I knew.
And he's crying because he recalls that conversation when Drake called him and told him that Brian Peck got sentenced, right? But the thing behind that was Drake Bell was anonymous at that time. And with him and his dad having, like a relationship change, they fell apart. Remember when his dad was removed from set and replaced with his mom? He thought that it was another kid. Whole time it was him. It was him. And he just said he didn't have the courage to tell his dad because they were rekindling their relationship whole time, but Drake was anonymous, and that's why he just chose not to tell his dad at that time. So that last part of him crying when he actually found out, like, wow, that was you the whole time, that was the time of the documentary. Now, Brian Hearn was one of the young black male actors on All That. His mother was very present on set, and she spoke up about things that she felt was inappropriate, like you would think any black mother would.
First day filming, they set up the scene like he was selling drugs. And I was like, oh, the black kid gets to be the crack dealer? Why were we having adult
Propaganda.
jokes? I was complaining too much. I became the oddball.
They were fitting me for the little fetus role. But, they had to put a bodysuit on you. And obviously it has to be skin tone. Someone said the skin tone should be charcoal.
Lord have mercy.
That was a moment where I felt like, oh, I could go get my mom about this. But also, I know my mom, and I know that she would have rose hell.
Well, I would have let my mom raise hell, but he was very, very young. His mom also complained to his agents about inappropriate things that she would see on set. But his agents told her, look, be quiet because you're going to mess up his chances on set. Eventually, Nickelodeon did end up firing Brian before season 3. And he said he believes that the network wasn't trying to get rid of him, wasn't just trying to get rid of him, but they wanted to get rid of his mom too, because she was obviously a problem from the beginning. Chris Massey is another Nickelodeon actor who was a main character on Zoe 101. Now, we know he is the oldest brother to Kyle Massey, who was a star on That's So Raven. But Zoe 101 was one of Dan Schneider's shows. Chris Massey's mother got on social media to support Dan Schneider.
I posted a comment about somebody that has been nice to us, somebody that has never done anything to us. When I said that it was the parents' fault, who allows their children to get a ride with a staff member to work? Who allows their children to spend the night with staff members? That's what I was talking about. So for when all these people are Instagramming me and saying all these things about me, I have really tough skin, and that don't bother me. I don't give a shit what they talking about. I didn't watch the documentary, and I have no plans on watching the documentary because I want to remember Dan Schneider as the person that he was to us. We had an exemplary ride with Dan Schneider, and just because he's white, I'm not going to turn my back on him.
Wow. I don't think it's because he's white. It's because he's a predator.
Thank you. So that's thank you. That was my argument. Now, although she's not wrong about those parents, like I totally do agree. Just because you feel like nothing happened to your child does not mean the predator is innocent and that he's not a predator. After that, Chris Massey, who is her son, he said, my story will be told from me, not from my parent, a friend, a coworker, me, and only me. So please stop messaging me about what my mom said respectfully. So hopefully she talked that over with her son after she made that video, because apparently he'll be coming forward with a story as well.
When you say talk that over, what you mean? Like a little pop, don't be talking back to me?
Yeah, no, he talked that over with his mom. Like, you don't know what happened, obviously. Just because we didn't open up or I didn't open up or something you don't know, don't mean that you can just go and take to social media and,
don't know the story,
and
really.
speak for me.
That's true.
You know, because maybe he was a scared child as well at the time. So, more on Dan Schneider, though. After watching the documentary, it's clear that Dan Schneider allowed his set to be extremely unsafe for kids. Even though he wasn't flat out accused of sexually abusing any children, some of his behaviors and skits were super inappropriate. He would also have the kids giving him massages on set.
Jesus,
what? Yep, and a lot of his skits resembled scenes out of porn films. Ariana Grande putting her foot in her mouth and moaning, and a lot of the scene, and most of the scene, female actors stroking items that resembled a penis with a substance squirting out of it, and any of the Pickle Boy skits we do. Well, I remember
Pickle
those.
Boy.
Yep. It was a pickle.
That
pickle
sounds
boy.
crazy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that sounds so crazy.
That sounds like a cousin of Bang Bros. Pickle Boy.
Yes.
So wait, so are the families suing? Are they suing Nickelodeon?
I'm not sure about that yet. That's why I'll be covering this over time. But Drake Bell asked people to be easy on Josh Peck. So Josh Peck was Drake co-star on Drake and Josh, and Drake also recently got on social media to ask people not to go so hard on Josh Peck. Now their relationship just went their separate ways. They were just like brothers or close friends in the show, but that doesn't mean that they were just working in business. And a lot of people was like, yo, your co-star has been really quiet, and so they've been in his comments like, your silence is speaking louder than you saying anything. And so Drake had made a video like, yo, go easy on him, he has been supporting me behind closed doors. He just doesn't.
Man, stop forcing people to try to say something publicly if they don't want to.
Everything
yet.
doesn't have to be publicized, you know what I mean? And like I said, their friendship fizzled out because of other problems. They were just two different people. They got married, one started a rock band, so that was that. But he has been quietly supporting him, that's all.
Damn, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Wicked people
well,
in this
business,
business,
man.
man.
The worldwide mess.
But
it's just sad and crazy because you never know.
And none of these industries have to be like this because the people make these industries. You hear folks say the industry is wicked. The industry is wicked. No, what's wicked is the people in this industry. These situations could be beautiful. These opportunities could be beautiful, but you got to get the predators up.
Yeah,
but like you said, there's no checks and balances. Like there should be somebody that's watching over these shows to make sure that this is not happening. Not just the parents,
I think
the producers and the people that's giving these people millions of dollars to create this.
I think people are watching it, but they're turning a blind eye because the money.
Because they're making money.
That's right.
Obviously.
That's right.
And the reason why I say the industry, and I don't say, obviously it is the people, but it's the industry because there's more people that it could be somebody that we know. It could be somebody that we don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know who is and who isn't in on any of this thing. So I just say the industry. It can be very wicked.
Well, that is Jess with the worldwide mess. Now, when we come back, Teslin Figaro will be joining us for some front page news, so don't move. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.